Lawrence Joseph Larry Ellison was born on August 17, 1944 in New York City. His mother, Florence Spellman, an unwed immigrant from Odessa, was only 19 and she was not ready to raise a child. As a result, the 9-month-old Larry was sent to his uncle and aunt. His mother's sister, Lillian Spellman Ellison, and her husband, Louis Ellison, who lived in a Jewish district in Chicago, adopted Larry Ellison. His adoptive father was a Russian immigrant. He always spoke ill of Larry, telling him that he would never amount to anything. Even at school, Larry Ellison was a highbrow person, being mostly interested in complicated subjects such as spaceship construction, high technology, and engineering. He was bored by the schooling process. He was a mediocre student with sometimes a complex character. He enjoyed sports activities and played squash, volleyball, and hockey. After graduating from the South Shore High School at Urbana-Champaign, Larry entered the University of Illinois in the 1960s. The university's curriculum came quickly to him, giving the feeling of independence and power. But after the death of Ellison's adoptive mother, he refused to pass the final exams and dropped out of the university. After a year of part-time jobs, constant doubts, and profound reflections, Larry Ellison entered the University of Chicago, intending to pursue a degree in physics and mathematics. However, he lost interest in the education process and as a result of the poor performance, was expelled after the first semester. In 1966, he moved to California at the age of 22. Living on the margin of poverty, Ellison became interested in the new fields such as computers and programming, which absorbed almost all his time. To get some knowledge in programming, he was reading the specialized literature. He soon started visiting different interest clubs and attending specific events, which admitted people like him. Soon, Larry stood out of the crowd thanks to his ability to learn fast. Larry Ellison found his first job at Amdahl Corporation, a technology company founded in 1970 by Gene Amdahl in Sunnyvale, California. At the beginning of the 1970s, Larry Ellison worked for an electronics company, Amtex, founded by Alexander M. Poniatov in 1944, that faced stiff competition with Sony Corporation. At Amtex, he mostly worked on a database for the CIA, which he called Oracle. In 1977, Larry Ellison met Bob Miner at Amtex, who was Larry's supervisor then. However, Bob Miner quitted Amtex soon, and on June 16, 1977, he co-founded a company called Software Development Laboratories, SDL, together with Bruce Scott and Ed Oates, with the investment of $800. A few months later, Larry Ellison joined their enterprise as a business partner and invested $1,200 into the firm. Later, Ed Oates introduced Miner and Ellison to a paper by Edgar F. Code on the relational model for database management called A Relational Model of Data for Large Shared Data Banks, and Larry Ellison got inspired by it. Soon they started working on the database management system, DBMS. In 1979, SDL was renamed into Relational Software Inc. and in 1982 officially became Oracle Systems Corporation after its flagship product, the Oracle RDBMS, which was an object relational database management system. Oracle RDBMS was able to process a vast amount of data, which became very alluring for the government and big business. There was only 8 employees, including 3 co-founders, Larry Ellison, Bob Miner, and Ed Oates, and the company revenue reached less than $1 million. By 1982, the revenue of Oracle reached $2.5 million with 75 micro and mini clients on board. Larry Ellison invested 25% of the revenue into R&D during 1982 to develop the commercially available and portable Oracle RDBMS. Based on the C programming language compiler, Larry and his team focused on the commercially viable products through the facility of the government funds they received. In 1983, Oracle RDBMS or version 3 became commercially accessible and could be installed on all types of operating systems such as mainframes, workstations, personal computers, microcomputers, etc. Ellison was right, and Oracle's investments paid off by doubling the company's revenue to $5 million. In 1985, the company's revenue sales reached $23 million, and in 1986, the revenue sales reached $55 million. On March 12, 1986, Oracle Systems Corporation initiated its IPO on the NASDAQ Oracle ORCL stock exchange with the initial cost per share of $15 that increased to $20.75 at the close of the trading day by selling 21 million shares and raising $31.5 million. After the IPO, Larry Ellison set up marketing subsidiaries in 17 countries to trade Oracle's products in more than 35 countries. Soon, Oracle introduced the SQL Star software that could process and retrieve data stored across the network's computer systems. In 1990, Oracle faced its first crisis, and the market value of the company was reduced by 80%, and it seemed as if the company was on the brink of bankruptcy. The same year, Oracle dismissed 10% of its employees, about 400 people. The main reason for the crisis was due to the aggressive marketing strategy which, when not measured up to, brought about overstated earnings. This also attracted lawsuits from the shareholders. From 1990 to 1993, Sybase was the fastest developing company and Oracle remained behind. But after 3 years of biggest sales and significant mergers, Sybase sold all rights of its software to Microsoft Corporation, which now positions its software under the name SQL Server. In 1994, Sybase was absorbed by Informix that became the most prominent rival of Oracle. In 1997, Larry Ellison was included in Apple Computer's board of directors after Steve Jobs returned to the company. Ellison served as director of Apple Computers for 5 years, and on September 20, 2002, he resigned from this position. Larry Ellison is a great strategist. He made a lot of strategic steps to the leading positions in the market to create a bigger software maker. In October 1994, Oracle acquired a relational database management system, RDBMS, called RDB Division from DEC. It was the first official acquisition by Oracle. One of Ellison's necessary steps was a takeover of PeopleSoft.Inc., an Oracle corporation for $10.3 billion in 2004. In April 29, 2008, Oracle Corporation bought BEA Systems Incorporated for $8.5 billion. On January 27, 2010, Larry Ellison agreed to buy Sun Microsystems Incorporated for $7 billion. That was one of the biggest acquisitions by Oracle. Once the deal has been finished, Oracle began to sell technologies using new database and services based on Sun Microsystems technologies. Larry Ellison remains adventurous even in his marital life. He has been married 4 times and each one ended up in a divorce. In 1967, he met his first wife, Ada Quinn, when he was a student. They lived together for 7 years and he ended up with Ada's leaving. Nevertheless, she did not blame him for anything. Moreover, she always considered him great, unpredictable and funny. Still, very difficult to live with. His second wife, Nancy Wheeler Jenkins, was a Stanford University student. She was believed to be the most beautiful girl at the university. Nancy and Larry got married in 1977. However, in the family life, Nancy Wheeler Jenkins did not stand the test, and in July 1978, she asked for a divorce. In 1983, Larry Ellison got married to Barbara Booth, who was a former receptionist at Relational Software Inc. The couple lived together for 4 years and even gave birth to David and Margaret. They got divorced in 1986. Their son, David Ellison, is the CEO of Skydance Media. His company co-produces and co-finances movies with Paramount. Skydance Media is responsible for such feature-length films as Star Trek, Into the Darkness, 2013, Mission Impossible, The Rogue League, 2015, Star Trek, Beyond, 2016, etc. Their daughter, Megan Ellison, born January 31st, 1986, is the founder of Annapurna Pictures and an American film producer. She is best known for producing the films Zero Dark 30, 2012, Ha, 2013, and American Hustle, 2013. All of the movies were nominated for the Academy Awards. The fourth wife of Larry Ellison was Melanie Kraft, a romance novelist. On December 18, 2003, the couple got married at his Woodside estate. The couple got divorced in 2010. Thank you very much for watching our videos. We would like to give you another exciting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be pleased if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss other exciting videos like this. Look at your screen now to see 2 other videos we handpicked for you to enjoy next. We love you.